right. All right, guys. Welcome to the number one podcast where we are exploring the journey from going from no one to number one. You see what I did there? So, as ever, guys, you can always message me on in the chat. Hey, what's up, Marco? Long time no talk, bro. You guys can message me on the chat directly. The other thing you can do is you can hit me up on Clubhouse. If you want to talk, I've actually got the Clubhouse app up and I think this is going to work. So I'm going to see, fingers crossed, make sure that it's within reasonable distance of the microphone and and hopefully we can actually make this happen. In fact, I should probably get my other microphone set up. But anyway, today, so again, if you want to hit me up in the comments, I'm on Facebook right now. I'm on Instagram Live. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. So any of those places, I can communicate. If you want to actually talk, just get on the Clubhouse app, and we can talk that way as well. So I'm not sure if that's going to actually come through because I haven't seen anybody pop in on Clubhouse yet. I've had a couple listeners come through, but nobody started the chat. Anyway, hope you guys are doing good. I know I missed yesterday, man. It has been crazy. I really tried. I am on this quest right now. I've set myself a challenge to podcast like every single day, right? So I'm trying to podcast every single day, but the challenge is life, right? So you have to understand this is okay. So let's talk a little bit of business. This is not really profitable for me directly. This is marketing. This is so you guys get to know me, get to know the brand, and hopefully I can get you to do some business with me, work with me. I can help you. That's, so I talk about the things that I can talk about, and hopefully I can help you. But because this don't make me money directly, I got to be on those things like working with clients. Just signed a great client, super excited to work with. My buddy Spencer, we closed a real big deal. Going to be working with them for a full year, getting their company aligned, doing a lot of leadership training. And then we are going to be doing some integrating that into the entire corporate culture and then changing the corporate culture to be a place where people are excited to work, but additionally on the mission to help the company grow and be sustainable and have a massive impact. So super duper excited for all that. I just got a new laptop. The color is shit on this this camera, man. I don't like that. Obviously on Instagram, it looks great, but on this new one, it does not look so good. So I'm going to probably have to get that fixed. I'll probably now have to buy a whole new camera or something. I don't know why that looks so poor. Let me see if I can change that. Nope. I think it's just a shitty camera that came with the Dell. So yeah, my Surface Pro finally crapped out. So I had to get a Dell. Anyway, I was having a nice conversation today with a grappler out in England. And, we were talking kind of our passions and stuff. And he's a heck of a grappler and doing great stuff. Anyway, this topic came up, that in this scene, that I am a polarizing figure. And to me, that's, to some people that might be considered an insult, but to me, so whatever, but to me, being polarizing has a whole really important meaning. And I kind of wanted to bring it up today because being polarizing is important. And that's why I asked the question, are you polarizing enough? Now, I don't want you to be too polarizing and I don't want you to be too little polarizing. And the amount of polarizing that's right for everybody is subjective. Fair? But at the same time, I'm going to try to see if I can do this Clubhouse through my earpods. Let's see. I'll just have to keep an eye open, see if anybody pops in. Are you being polarizing enough? That's really the question that I want to ask you. So to me, being polarizing means that you have stood up for what you believe in. It means that you are a disruptor. Okay. So disruptor is like kind of a trendy phrase in business right now. Like, oh, this person is a disruptor. They came in and changed. I think it's a good word though, because you think about it. Like normally when you think of a disruptor, you think of that the kid in class who disrupts class, or that's what I think of. But maybe the class needs to be disrupted. Have we really thought of that? Then maybe the class is not that good, and maybe the disruptor is bringing attention to that, and that's why that disruptor is causing trouble. Okay, well, maybe that trouble is important, right? Maybe that trouble needs to happen. Maybe that disruption needs to happen. So, for me, I don't like the idea of being polarizing for no reason, but I believe firmly that if you end up having a calling, and for me, I have a few, but they both revolve around grappling and business. Those are my two callings. And I integrate the two of them. And I've done that for 20 years. Business I've been doing forever. I mean, it's since scientific wrestling has been the marriage of those two concepts for me personally, my experience. Delivering high-end grappling content, disrupting. I certainly disrupted the space, right? Because now, 20 years later, it's taken a while because I've been doing a lot of the work and leveraging a lot of great people, guys like Billy Robinson, Josh Barnett, Carl Gotch, Wade Chalice, these guys. But, now people recognize that there's more than one way to skin a cat, that there is now more than one way to do grappling. There is catch as catch can. You see it now. High level guys adding the hashtag catch wrestling. Okay. So it's important because had I not stood up and said, listen, guys, and I had to for years, and to this day, people still ridicule catch, ridicule me, all this stuff. Oh, look at this guy. Who's this guy? Whatever. They don't know fuck all about me. They don't know the sacrifices that some of you guys do know the sacrifices that I've made for this sport, right? But they don't know. They're just like, who is this guy? Why is he making all this noise? So to me, that just means if you're polarizing, it just means you're making a difference. Okay. Now, you don't, in my opinion, my approach, now some people may differ, the people that don't like my disruption. I try to be ethical about it. Okay. So I look at it this way. To me, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. To me, business is an ethical system. It's a system based on consent, right? You like my hat more than you like your $20, and I like your $20 more than I like my hat, and we trade. It's a win-win. It was consensual versus me liking your $20 and coconut over the head to take it, or you like my hat and you wait when I'm not looking and steal it and run. That's not ethical. I mean, these are not complicated concepts. But when we can enter into a win-win situation, right? Grant Cardone calls it the winner's exchange. In mathematical game theory, it's called a positive sum game. It's a win-win situation. We don't have to get complicated here. To me, that's the core of business, is coming up with agreements. To me, this is also the core, or what I like about my grappling style and the history, is that in catch as catch can, the two sides would have to come up with agreements and they'd agree on the rules before the match, instead of some top-down dictator saying, these are the rules, you must do it this way, gladiators, and fight a fucking lion or whatever. If they didn't want to fight a lion, they didn't have to fight a lion. They could bar things and whatnot, right? So I really enjoy that, okay? I enjoy this idea of an exchange, voluntary exchange, okay? Consensual exchange. That to me is the core also of another thing I'm fascinated with, and that's libertarianism. And you could even stretch it to say anarchism, okay? I don't know how tenable anarchism is. Personally, I think it kind of makes some mental problems. It has some problems logically, some consistency problems. But long story short, if I am playing by the rules, whether it's in a catch wrestling match, whether it's in business, I'm not defrauding anybody. I'm not being violent. I'm not harming anybody. And I'm just producing value. If I'm polarizing to somebody and I'm not doing anything wrong, that means I'm just making a difference. Okay. And guess what? Let's take it a step further. What if I am polarizing and polarizing and I'm rubbing somebody the wrong way? They don't like it. Well, guess what? Whether they like it or not, I just affected them. And if they don't like the way I'm doing it, they may step up and start doing it the way they want to see it done. And in that regard, even though they don't like me, the act of being polarizing actually inspired them to action. So whether somebody likes me or not, I mean, all I care about is if my wife, kids, family, and friends like me. Okay. Otherwise, I'm on a mission. And I'm not a religious person, but this could sound evangelical, right? Like, I'm on a mission to get every man, woman, and child on earth involved with the sport of scientific wrestling is either a fan, athlete, coach, or a promoter, business person. That's my mission. And I don't care if you like me because I am on a mission, right? So think about religious zealots spreading the word of whatever, right? Like, I'm not going to do what they did during the colonial times. I'm not going to be that kind of missionary. I'm not on that kind of mission. And same with the military. They want to attack a hill. They're on a mission. Okay. Not everybody has to get along. Not everybody has to like each other, but you have to hit the objective. You have to hit the target. And that is my mission. Okay. I'm in it for the long haul. I've already booked 20 years with intentional intent. And my friend, Marco, who I was just on the phone with this morning, the first affiliate, by the way, with Scientific Wrestling. If you're interested in affiliating, check out scientificwrestler.com. But Marco out in Canada, who now runs Scientific Wrestling Canada. So there's an advantage to getting in early because he just named it that. Now somebody in Canada could become Scientific Wrestling Manitoba, Scientific Wrestling Montreal, Scientific Wrestling Saskatchewan, whatever. But he took that name because he was there first. He saw the opportunity. Anyway, Marco's on and he said, I just had a conversation with the Ontario Grappling Commissioner and he knew about you and Billy. Whatever you're doing is working. So, dude, see, to me, that kind of feedback, that is the result of being polarizing. Okay. I'm not out trying to make enemies. Okay. I'm not out trying to be a jerk. I'm not. And I'm not a sociopath or a psychopath. I have a lot of empathy and I've been fucked over and screwed over by a lot of people because of that. But I'm also on a mission and I have no problem, just like in a wrestling match. If I don't break the rules, if it's all agreed upon, I'm allowed to be as aggressive as I can be. I'm in business. I'm going to take on all the responsibility that I possibly can and make sure, get control. Same in wrestling. I'm going to get control of the situation. So I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get as much control as I can. And I'm going to win. I'm not here to dick around. I'm here to win. So I'm not here to, that can be polarizing. Look at somebody like Conor McGregor. Some people love him. Some people hate him. But the motherfucker is getting people to watch the sport. And as a result, became like the highest paid athlete on the planet. Okay? Look at Colin Kaepernick or whatever. I don't watch football, but that dude, super polarizing. Okay? But he's on a mission. I'm not saying you have to agree with the mission. And you might be pissed. I understand all that. So my point is, what is it that you're doing? And as long as it's ethical, you should be able to be as aggressive as you want to be. Just don't be a jerk about it. Don't hurt people and try to live up to your agreements. And if somebody is fucking with you within the rules, man, like, don't let it happen. So in wrestling, you try to fight your plan. not the other guy's plan, right? So the great thing about the thing I like about grappling, as kind of a philosophical perspective, is that it's an individualistic sport. Yeah, you can have wrestling teams, and I get all that, but it's you and one other person on the mat, and that's it. You can't blame somebody else. You can't, I mean, you can, but nobody gives a shit because it's just you and another person, and you're responsible. You're the one who has to make it happen. Okay. You have to be in shape. You have to be getting enough sleep. You have to know all the techniques. You have to drill it into your muscle memory. You have to have a game plan. You have that, all that is individualistic. And I love that. And that's also how I look at business. Okay. Because the core of it is going to be you, especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to run a company. That requires you to be a leader. Okay. Now these are very interesting concepts because, I'd like to talk a little bit about definitions, right? So let me just look this up real quick. I've talked about what the definition is of a coach, right? A coach, the etymological, not just the definition, but the etymology, which is the history of the meaning of the word. The original meaning of the word coach was like a stagecoach, was like something that took you from A to Z or A to B or whatever. That's what a coach does. But what is let's go to leader and let's look up etymology. I'm just typing leader and etymology. Okay. Let's see. The word leader comes from the Old English word leiden, meaning to go before as a guide. It was first used in English in the 14th century to describe a person in charge, and then various other uses came about later. The word leader in reference to an opinion article in a British newspaper. The first one is from 1837. So now I'm going to go to etymon, which is etymology. Old English, one who leads, one first or most prominent. Agent noun, to guide or conduct. Cognate with Old Frisian or Dutch and High German, they all sound very similar. As the title for the head of an authoritarian state from 1918. So very interesting to actually look up these words. Now I'm going to do some polarizing. Let's see what happens. Polarize. So the etymology and the meaning of the history of the word polarize. In 1811, developed polarization in optics from the French polarizer, coined by French physicist Malus as a term in optics from modern Latin polar, transferred sense to extenuating a division in a group or a system, is recorded from 1949 in Arthur Kessler. So to accentuate a division in a group or a system. Polarizing. Okay. So if you're going to be a leader, it is almost necessary for you to polarize, because there are going to be people who follow you and there are going to be people who don't follow you, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. Leadership is not this just thing that you are. It's something we all in various times in our lives are leaders and followers. I'm a follower of Billy Robinson. Even though he no longer lives on the planet, I've documented everything, wrote his Ghost wrote his autobiography with him. Like, that guy to me is one of my leaders. Carl Gotch is another leader for me personally. Okay. These are guys that wrestling wise, lifestyle wise, philosophy wise, these are people that I follow. Who's another guy that I follow? A person where I'm a follower. I'm not a leader. I'm a follower. I would say another guy would be Robert Anton Wilson. I love that guy. Great writer, super, super fun thinker, great ideas, fantastic. Okay. Who's another guy that I'm a follower of? Maybe Ron Paul. I mean, I don't know. Definitely Grant Cardone, Brandon Dawson, some business leader guys. right? Those are people that I definitely follow. Okay. But where am I a leader? So I'm a leader in catch as catch can. I'm a leader in grappling. I mean, even Marco is saying that the Ontario grappling commissioner knows of the work that I've been doing. So, and it just depends. But if you're going to be a leader, that sometimes, here's the irony. I don't like the idea of democracy per se, philosophically. Okay, I'm not some rebel. I'm not an insurgent. I'm just saying, debate-wise, logically, I don't like the idea of democracy. I don't think a popularity contest is the proper way to determine a leader. I don't. Okay. I think that, I like the idea of a meritocracy, somebody who actually does it, takes the risk. Now, this is where it dovetails with entrepreneurship. To me, entrepreneurship is really this practice of taking risk and being a leader. That really makes me want to go back to this etymological dictionary, and let me type in the history of the meaning entrepreneur. From 1828, manager or promoter of a theatrical promotion. So it's almost built for wrestling, right? Borrowing from the French entrepreneur, one who undertakes or manages, one who undertakes. So, I think that like a leader is somebody who people follow, but an entrepreneur is somebody who takes the initiative, who undertakes a massive task. And then by default, because of that undertaking, because of that mission, they must be a leader. And to be a leader, you must make decisions that some people don't like. And you're going to be polarizing. Okay. So who are some polarizing figures that come to mind? Donald Trump, super polarizing. Joe Biden, super polarizing. Obama, Bush, these guys are all super polarizing. Now, granted, they're not entrepreneurs. Well, Trump was until he became president. But if you're going to be polarizing in a situation like business where it's a consensual arrangement. When you become polarizing as a politician, as a bureaucrat, now there's no longer consent involved. You're actually fucking ruining lives. Look at Fauci. Okay. I mean, have you read that book by RFK Jr.? Definitely polarizing, right? Because he ruined lives. People died because of the policies that he pushed. So I don't want to belabor this point. And again, I'm super busy. I've got, I signed my kids up for a wrestling camp. Super excited. They were having a blast. My daughter's training to pass the swimming test to be a lifeguard this summer. She just turned 15. So getting her first job, hopefully, as a lifeguard. On top of that, I'm gearing up. I got this weekend. I probably won't be doing a podcast, by the way, on Friday, because this weekend I'm going up to Nebraska for a family reunion, and then jet setting out. I literally drive back on Sunday, probably get home at 10, fly out to Miami, or no, where am I going to be? It's like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. The Florida Attractions Association, Sandra and I are going to get up on stage and give a presentation there. So I'm like, this weekend's going to be tough. I may not even show up on Monday. In fact, I probably won't be able to do the podcast next week until Wednesday because I'll be gone. So that said, if I can help you, I'm always available on social media. You can send me a DM. If I can help you real quick, no problem. I'd love to. I'll even jump on the phone with you for 15 minutes, give you 15 minutes of my time. I won't tell you what that's worth because my hourly is outrageous, but I give people 15 minutes if those people want to take the initiative and take the risk of being polarizing. But guess what? If you're polarizing, you're making a difference, okay? Just be ethical and kind about it if you can. If somebody's fucking with you, well, fuck them. But, even then, be ethical and be kind as much as you can. But get control of the situation. So, guys, I really appreciate you. As ever, No1 Coaching, No1, numeral 1 coaching.com. That's one way you can look at all the different ways I can help you with your business. Coaching catch, if you want me to tighten up your catch wrestling game. A scientific wrestler, if you want to actually do what I do. And it's the best thing in the world to make a living in the wrestling business. Or what was the definition of the original definition? Manager or promoter of a theatrical promotion. Now, I like actual sport. I don't like the theatrical part. But sometimes you have to add a little bit of theatrics around the competition, and then it gets really good, right? That's like what UFC does. Pride, those kind of guys. Anyway, I always appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'm here for you. So hit me up and have a wonderful day. Thanks, guys. And be polarizing enough. Please. Peace out.